Lazar, hello, hello, welcome. I'm just trying to quickly set things up. I yesterday got reminded that I have a YouTube channel and I probably should stream there as well because it's not monetized, so there's no ads. Okay. What's this? Yeah. So is this work? Does this work? Nice. It works as well. So looking into dbus, I have my Jai on Linux repo opened. And I guess what I need to start is generating bindings for dbus. But I wonder if I should just link against system dbus, or if, I should just literally compile dbus from scratch. I'm not sure about that. Probably first as a kind of the I agree. Dynamic linking is a crime, but with that said, I did a little bit of a research of Stream, and so let me do it like this so you don't get flashbang too much. Here's the dbus source code. And there you go. Note about static linking. We are not yet firmly freezing all runtime dependencies of the libdbus library. Yikes. So library may read certain files as part of its implementation, and these files may move around between versions, right? So this is an issue. And also, you could say, okay, just implement dbus, as a native Jai library. And yeah, they don't recommend statically linking dbus, of course. But look at this. Reimplementations of the protocol from scratch might have to work to stay in sync with how libdbus behaves. So I read a little bit of a libdbus, not libdbus, just dbus protocol, and seems like the protocol is unstable. Or rather, they say that the API is effectively frozen, but unfortunately the protocol itself, as like the text of the protocol, is not the source of truth. They basically just straight up tell you that the source of truth is libdbus implementation. This is like the reference implementation for dbus, and this is the source of truth. This is the protocol, right? So this kind of mimics Python situation where Python doesn't really have spec. It has a set of Python enhancement proposals that got accepted, and the reference implementation of Python, which is CPython, is de facto standard. Not like standard, it is de facto kind of like specification. Hey Jaden V, is Jai a new lang? So Jai, well, it is an old language, but it is in closed beta, so it's not publicly released. So let me just copy paste it from Twitch. Yeah, you can check the link to learn about it more. But TLDR is that Jai is a systems programming language. Initially, it comes from the world of video games, but it is just like in general cool, like cool open source. Oh, not open source, sorry. I just read your message. Just in general, cool systems level language, so it's useful for many things. I can't contribute open source. Well, if you get into Jai beta, then you can contribute because there's a lot of open source code written in that language. But obviously, in order to compile it, you need the compiler, right? Hey, Leonte, not sure the thing about libdbus is true. There's two implementations now. Systemd has one too. So you mean Systemd has built-in dbus implementation that is like, that just doesn't use libdbus. Instead, it just, yeah, server and the client. Wait. Why does it need the client? So you mean I can just use alternative library in my app instead of libdbus? Or because like systemd units use it or whatever? Or is it just because like, not invented here in systemd? SD bus. Okay, let's check it out. Here it is. Lightweight. Huh. Hmm. Hmm. Ah, it is a part of libsystemd. Okay, okay, okay. I thought that maybe, can I talk about aliens? Only if it's a sexy aliens with with huge milkers. Okay, got it. Thanks. I'm trying to get more into systems programming by contributing to open source. Do you know any good open source GitHub repos that written in C or Rust? So I've heard that NeoVim, so I mean NeoVim, right? That I've heard that NeoVim, which is written in C, has a very is a very like beginner friendly in terms of like contributors and stuff. When it comes to Rust, I unfortunately don't know. Yeah. No, no, no. It is for the same project, Zovko. It's just I need dbus to implement tray icons, and you just can't avoid it because I didn't want to use dbus for as far as I know, but yeah, Jaden, no worries. And it just seems like if you want a tray icon in 2025, you must use dbus to implement some like notification system in interconnection protocol or some crap. Why not just use SDL? I don't want to use SDL. That's basically the reason. I want my platform layer to be native to Jai. I actually don't even know if SDL implements it, to be honest. Maybe it does, I don't know. It does, okay. It probably just uses libdbus or something. But yeah, if this, yeah, I know that SDL works in Jai. I know there are bindings, and there are even bindings for SDL3 now. I I thought that maybe if this wasn't a part of libsystemd, if it was instead kind of a standalone library, I could maybe use it instead of libdbus because I don't know entire fucking big dbus implementation. I just want some like subset to make tray icons work, literally. And maybe, I guess, maybe slightly more in the future, when I finally get to implementing Wayland, I need dbus for like running hacks to detect active windows on KDE. Because apparently that's what people do on KDE. But I don't need full-blown thing. I can, get nerd sniped. You did the DL open thing for libdbus system D work. Yeah. Yeah, we can do that. We can do that, of course. Um I just and like libdbus probably installed on every Linux distro these days, right? Because if you run anything that resembling kind of Linux desktop, you probably have dbus. Probably have dbus, libinput, libudef, all of this crap. So most likely there is no issue with linking with it, but still it's like fishy. And I'm kind of like a purist, a bit of a purist in the sense I really don't like having dependencies. Or it's not that I don't like having dependencies, I don't like having dynamically linked dependencies. Or, just some third-party libraries that they need to load. If only I could, compile them in statically, that would be cool. But anyway, Ilionte, do you have it? I think you probably had it somewhere on your GitHub, right? Was it here? Nope. I think you had something, haven't you? Rage quit the language, so you stopped. Ah, ay, ay, ay. That's unlucky. So do you just go back to C? Because like I can't imagine you like doing Zig or something like that. Hmm. Ah, there you go. Ah, no. This is just Wayland scanner. Okay. Ah. Because last time I got nerd sniped like this, I spent like what, 2 weeks implementing OpenGL parser like and bindings generator like from scratch. And do I really want to delay Linux version of my program by like 2 or 3 more weeks just because of something like this? Just used SDL and moved on with my life. Nah, like the whole so one of the reasons to get into a new language uh is so you can, be so you can participate in development and ecosystem, right? And this is kind of what I like. I like working on ecosystems, on, kind of foundational of ecosystems. And even if the ecosystem parts that I myself write end up being dog shit and people write better things and they get used instead of mine, I still enjoy it because I learn a lot. I also learned a lot about kind of C-based things, right? Because while working on platform code for Jai, I read a lot of source code from GLFW and SDL too. So now I also kind of indirectly learned a lot about how SDL works. Um, SDL2, like at least, and of course Linux part of SDL. So this might help me in the future. Well, to be honest, I think these days the language itself, it's kind of getting showed on the second plan, right? Because Tekla kind of has all hands on deck situation with the game, to the point where like even Raphael now works on the game and not on the compiler. So uh, like it's probably fair to be, to not like it as a, someone who might not even care about Tekla games but just wants to use the language. But it is what it is. um right, let's check libsystemd, libsystemc. This is a new library. This fucking AI. Ooh. Can I have source code, please? So yeah, I guess they give you dbus stuff so it's easier for you to implement services. So they probably only implemented like the sub parts of the protocol specifically for that. Let me check ls user lib rep systemd. So we have libsystemd. Do we have something separate for SD? Maybe like bus, libusb. So there's dbus, libdbus. Right. So I guess no. I guess it's all compiled into libsystemd. I kind of get you regarding nerd sniping, but at the same time, at least for me, even using C or Jai or whatever is still miles ahead than whatever is anyone else doing. Ain't gonna lie, reading shit like Debus kills all my motivation to work on projects. I'm kind of jealous. Same. That's why I'm streaming. Unironically, I would never do this on my own. I would never, like, I would just open this Debus. I would read it for a 5 minutes and say, nah, I'm just never gonna, I'm just not even gonna bother doing this whole project. Like, fuck this shit. But kind of streaming helps because just getting distracted from depression. Holy shit, guys! Did you know that? Whoa! 5 new hype train emotes have just entered the scene. Start hype train and collect now. Get hype. Now Twitch just does it. Just like opens a pop-up that covers half of the chat. They did try to implement dbus in the kernel back in the day. That's when they implemented it. I see. I don't see a reason for dbus to be in the kernel, to be honest. Like, why? This is some like binary IPC protocol bullshit. Endless, nameless. Pretty cool username you have. Yeah, thank you. Having a good day. Welcome. I'm having a good day, but I am like a bit depressed by the prospects. So I'm just, being. I have this. How do like malaise? Is this the word? Yeah. Fenial discomfort, illness, or lack of well-being. This is what I'm feeling when I look at this dbus, and this word perfectly describes how I feel about doing this shit. White-based cat Chatterino users. Yeah, I actually use Chatterino when I'm just watching chats, watching streams. Bolikurchina. Yeah, yeah, yeah. In Russian, we say zalupa. So it's a word for the tip of the dick that we use when, I guess, Serbian Croatian kind of close, right? Because bolikurchina is something that makes your dick hurt. So we just call it as a noun. We also say like zalupa konya, which means the tip of a horse's dick. Yeah. Hey Maria. Hey. I so I looked into your repo that you dropped yesterday, and I was like, why do you even bother doing like dbus bullshit? It's like fucking 6 lines of code of bullshit. And then I started, so I off stream I started playing with xembed protocol a little bit, right? Because xembed is just like 200 lines of code, like tops, to implement it. And then I realized that waybar, the taskbar that I use, it doesn't even support xembed. And I guess that's why you kind of have to use dbus these days, because like all status bars support dbus, but not all of them work with xembed. And if you want xembed to work in waybar, you need to ask user to install some fucking shim. Yeah, like xembed SNI proxy, exactly. Yeah, so it's a third party dependency, like fucking regardless. So so yeah, I guess we're doing dbus now. Fuck me. Yeah, yeah. File pickers that work. You mean like 3 different file pickers and every application calls like its own file picker, right? And then you try to unify them through desktop portal, and then half of the application stop working because they insist on like calling particular portal. Is this what you call in like working? Or do you mean like you just install Zenity and then maybe something will work? Yeah, my experience is that I installed Sway. I spent like 2 days rustling with portals until something worked. And now some applications open like Qt6 file picker, some applications open Qt5 file picker, some applications open GNOME file picker, and I just fucking give up. Like, whatever. Do what you have to do. Oh, now I accidentally yeah. So for example, Firefox opens GNOME file picker. And it's not even the right one. So I use Nemo as my file manager, right? Like this one. But when I open file picker from Firefox, it uses some other ones, like Nautilus or whatever. I don't know. And I tried to make Firefox use portals and I just couldn't. And I just gave up. Whatever, like, just, yeah. I'm just gonna suffer through huge kind of heterogeneity of this bullshit. Ileonte broke your heart. I know, right? By the way, hi Saitama. Don't know if I said hi to you, but yeah, hello. Thankless job. Yes, it is. It is. So yeah, I guess let's try dbus bindings. Because I really I don't want more third-party dependencies, so maybe I will end up getting nerd sniped and implement half of the protocol. Not half, but a little like part. But I'm just looking at this fucking Meson, some fucking Python scripts, some like CMake bullshit, and I'm just What is main T? The fuck is this? Some wine wrapper. Why do you... What is this? So yeah, and then it mentions like if you use the low level API directly, you're signing in for some pain. Like why do you make low level API painful to work with? Are you stupid? Ah. And like then they say think of the low level API as analogous to XLib and GDI, but GDI is literally fine. Like GDI is okay to use directly. What are they talking about? It's like GDK is fucking painful. And they I'm gonna fucking crash out. They compare GTK plus to HTML. Like this is what I expect from somebody who never like I'm gonna fucking lose it. Like the more I looked into this readme, the more I'm getting. The more I'm getting. What the fuck is this? uh, I would even call XLib like fine to a certain extent. Like it has quirks. It basically like doesn't support multi-threading, but it's not a low level API. It's not that low level. XCB is kind of painful. It's super low level and it's also client server, and you almost never use it as a client server. You really want to use XCB as a synchronous API, but it kind of you have to acknowledge the fact that there are fucking round trips. But anyway, so I have dbus installed for sure. The only thing I'm not sure is which API calls I need to make bindings for, because I've never worked with it. I don't want to be too forward. Hey yo, one. Hello, hello. Also, I understand that chat is invisible on stream because I have GitLab window opened that is like light, and my chat is also light. And chat is light because I had to nuke a custom CSS in Streamlabs that made a background for the chat, because for some reason every once in a while Streamlabs updates its chat code and it always breaks user styles. So I had to remove it. Chat is color blindness test. I mean, it's just blindness test, I guess. That doesn't even have to do anything with color. So yeah, I'm sorry that chat doesn't work, or you can't really see it on stream. Anyway, let me open the code from. Do I even have it open? Trade, yeah. So this is the code that Maria sent me yesterday, and it's just like 600 lines of code that I guess implements this in C, and it does use dbus.h. So I assume this is libdbus. And yes, I know I would use Chatterino locally. Unfortunately, it only supports Twitch. That's the only reason. I use Chatterino is because it lets me combine chats from Twitch and YouTube, which I think technically is against Twitch TOS, but shh. They only enforce this rule for big streamers when they think that it might cut some of their revenue. Small streamers just get to do this. Watch and timeout stuff for dbus is horrible. You're making me just not want to deal with it. Like, I was hyped to deal with OpenGL because, OpenGL is like graphics and it's kind of like self-contained, right? It's just like, okay, there are some libraries that I need to generate bindings for from XML file, like that's it. This is more like, and also OpenGL works everywhere, right? You do it once, it works on Windows, on Linux, like on Mac, whatever you can generate. But this is super Linux specific. I guess it technically works on BSD, right? Because BSD user space is just like they just do what Linux does. Icon animates, amazing, right? And there's some. What is this? Ah, it's just okay. I see. It's just mem set for zeros. All right, all right. This is just mem set, fancy mem set. Anyway, where is main? Main. Yeah, there you go. Main. Mm. Uh, what is this? Some next previews. All right, all right. So you need to connect to dbus, dbus bus get. Then you get unique name. What's that? So you kind of assign yourself a unique name. Uh, hey, Divibe, hello, hello. Another software you have to write from scratch. Yes. I had full stack developer interview and I failed miserably. Can't even look myself in the mirror. Unlucky. The first question you fumbled, use memo, which I has used many times. Well, um, this is like, this might be a little bit pretentious from me, because maybe you really need a job right now, and have a very stable job. But if a company asks you about like use memo on a job interview, if they really want you to know, how like React JS works, then the job itself will probably be shit. Let's be honest. Because it means you will just have to write React hooks all day, and it's just gonna be fucking boring and miserable. So maybe you kind of dodged it, but on the other hand, I acknowledge that saying that from me, it's kind of pretentious because I have a job, right? I don't need like extra income. So maybe if I, was like looking for a job for like 3 months and I really need it, and I would like fumble a job interview for like some stupid ass question like, what the fuck use memo is, then, maybe I would also have troubles to look myself in the mirror, especially since now without any pressure, I can like tell you everything about use memo, right? Because I don't feel pressured. But on a job interview, when you like failed 5 another job interviews before, then maybe you're like, yeah, I totally understand that. I totally understand that. Is what I'm trying to say. So my condolences. I'm pretty sure you will find a job eventually. We always do, right? I just disagree with a bunch of choices that were made for the compiler and the language. Also, the platforms I care about are undercooked, and the timeline for them getting any attention in years in the future. What platforms? I mean, of course, Linux is super undercooked, yes. Uh, but I guess also BSD, right, will probably never happen unless BSD. So BSD in Jai will only happen when Jai becomes open source and people just add BSD support. And yeah, React is a very bad library. I totally agree. I can rant about React for like 8 hours without stop, and I probably won't repeat myself even once. This is how much bad stuff about it I can say. Hey Plasma, hello, hello, welcome, welcome. Debus connection set watch functions. And set timeout. And this is kind of a callback handler, right? Status notifier item menu bar. So I read a little bit about dbus protocol off stream, and this is how you access objects in dbus, right? So the tray, like the tray kind of registers some objects that you need to kind of access because dbus is essentially an IPC protocol. So it's inter-process communication, which means it kind of lets you call functions from other processes as if kind of you were in the same space, in the same address space, but with like more security, and theoretically those processes might run over the network. And this is how you access. So whatever object is under the menu bar. And here you like register, or I guess this is like you register. Yeah. So you register your objects under these paths. So then you can listen to messages that other things try to access on these paths. And then you try to call methods. So this is you calling what the fuck? This is you calling something that other people registered. Specifically, org.kd status notifier watcher is the thing that that kind of implements quote unquote like server side of the SNI protocol status notifier. Then you have register status notifier item, request params, independent. What's that? What are request params? They are none. So it's just kind of something that so it doesn't accept anything. Iter append basic. What's that? Unique name that you received from dbus earlier. Connection send. And then you need to unref message. Did you call ref before? Or I guess this returns your ref counted message right away. And then you do flush. So this sends. Then you create a timer, nanoseconds, timer spec, timer set time. Okay. And then you do, this is the loop that handles shit. Poll handles dbus watch entry. Dbus timeout entry. Ooh, what the fuck is this? All right. Okay. I see. Then you poll, and then what does wrapped read do? So you read the results, then you consume all of the bytes. So this is just you consuming all of the bytes. All right. So this is just you consuming all of the bytes, all of the stuff that dbus sends you. Oh my god, what is this? A pen tray property variant. All right. So this is like the logic. This is like an actual logic to add stuff to the tray. And this is just elbow grease you need to. This is just a glue code, right? Like, what the fuck is this? Correct answer to use memo question is you need to fire the guy whoever made you use memo in the first place. Yeah, you need to go to Blue Sky headquarters and fire Dan Abramov. Yes. He is the one who made us use memo, use callback, use effect, and other crap. It's all his fault. Mm. You knew SSL already refed. This whole thing is simpler with epoll, but I'm a big fan of just straight poll. Uh-huh. I see. Defer loop. Wait, what are you talking about? Ah, this one. Yeah, where is it defined? Is it some like here? No. Here? Oh, no. There's no defer loop. I'm being scammed. Maybe here? Types? Where types? Ah, types.h. For cat string. Oh. Not gonna lie, I know how in C++ you implement defer through like constructor, destructor, and lambdas. That defer looks much better than this. uh, what does cat string preprog does? Ah, I see, just does to strings. So I and line. C may be getting defer in the future. You mean compilers will never implement it? I remember before the hooks were a thing and you just wrote component did update or whatever. Yes. Yes. Those were good times. Those were times that actually made me fell in love with web development unironically. This is like where I was like starting with web dev, and the only things that were around was like raw jQuery, AngularJS, and React just kind of appeared. And React was just so good that like it really it made so much sense. You just write some HTML with a bit of JavaScript logic, and you kind of okay, when component update you run this logic, when component mounts you run this logic, like, and then there was like a bit of a place where you could calculate whether you need to re-render or not. You just, kind of compare props that you received with props that you previously had, and you can just say, okay, I don't need to re-render here. And this was like so good. And then for some reason, some fucking PLT people came on board with their like fucking intellectual masturbation, and they decided that, oh, you can't write classes, classes is for dumb people, we need to have pure functions, but oh, we can't have pure functions because we need state. So they implemented a global state completely like on the side that you need to manage with some fucking rules. And now React is ruined forever. Yeah, about React. And now everybody hates web development. But yeah. So if we go back to the topic and think about dbus, I don't want to do this. Hey, sad bye, hello. I don't want to do this. This is what I think about dbus. When I look at this, handle dbus message. So you get dbus message from the thing. Get interface, get member, method return, iter init append, get type. If it is a method call, if interface is properties, and it is a get, what are you going to do? Dbus message iter get basic. Strings are equal. Okay, if it's status notifier, and if requested property is a category, ID, property type. Right, okay, this is just a bunch of if else on property ID, title, start, status, icon. And then what? Unhandled. Get all. Yeah, I just like my butt hurts when I look at it. I literally I don't want to deal with it. You know what I think? What I'm thinking? Lib up indicator or the Ayatana version. What is Ayatana? I'll just send you SDL3. I'm not gonna like rewrite my whole application. I probably shouldn't just Googled it. Library Linux. I probably shouldn't just Google fucking random words online. This will ban me eventually. LGPL, I think it's fine. It's obsolete. And the new one relies on glib, even better. It's GTK free, but then it relies on glib. It re-implements glib. Okay, so maybe it's fine. Application indicators are GTK implementation of status that was originally submitted to free desktop by KDE. A nice website. The page is intentionally left blank. Guys, I think we aren't gonna use. I think we aren't gonna use this library. Seems like it's cooked. It's accurate. Yes, it is intentionally left blank. Okay. What is normal libap indicator? Libap indicator. Oh, I even did something like a libap indicator. And which of them? GTK? No. So is there something like standalone? So isn't there something like just standalone? Like a single header icon library that I can use that just lets me provide like a something that just lets me provide a pixels for the icon and the fucking callbacks for left and right mouse button. Uh, Fucking hell. So we have this. All right. So let me try to build it and see how it works. Hey Drake Hasbullah, hello. You smoke meth. My condolences. Dibas did enough brain damage to you. You just stay for the view recap. Thank you, I appreciate it. Fellow meth enjoyer. Let's clone this. By the way, build a SH based. Also, what do we have here? So dbus arguments to dbus message ether open container were incorrect. Assertion failed in file dbus message C line 3005. This is normally a bug in some application using dbus. Dbus not built with R dynamics, so unable to print backtrace. Sig Abert. Unlucky. um, can you run in the debugger? I can. How do you do it? Like GDB? Build trage. Wait, what? How do I do it? Can't I just, or do I have to do it like this? All right. So C. Wait, what? Because I typoed trage. There you go. The program is not being run. Why not? Run? Oh yeah, run. Okay. Starting the program, the GDB support, following URLs, enable debug info for this session. No, there you go. So program received in libc somewhere. Where is it? So what can I what can we think of that? So where exactly? Thanks, GGB, yes. socially engineer a programmer. This is how I would do it: randomly compiling libraries from GitHub. I mean, I kind of looked at the code, right? What's the worst thing that can happen? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I don't think GDB, how do you do TUI enable? See, it doesn't even tell you like, yes, no source available. Yeah, I think GDB2 is cooked. Guys, I think GDB is dog shit. That's why I never use it. At least without any like other UI. But yeah, worst thing that can happen. I have GF2, yes. I have somewhere like old version. Worst thing, I don't even have any like crypto wallet on my computer. I'm like thinking about what can you even steal from me, and like nothing. My Emacs config. You can steal my pride, yeah. I guess that's true, but I don't even have any pride. I guess at least I don't have anything left. But yeah, Linux already backdoored. This is true. You know what? I am incredibly discouraged. I don't want to deal with dbus. So I think we're gonna get this and move it all the way down. And even on top of that, optional fuck dbus. All my homies hate dbus. You know, this is what we're gonna do. I am going to implement opposite no repress on Linux. How about that? Instead of doing this, we're gonna bring our program feature parity with Windows by implementing the mode that we are missing. And then I will do some like code cleanups because I desperately need a W, and I don't fucking want to deal with dbus. I feel like there is a parallel timeline. So there is like a parallel timeline where John gives like just a little bit more love to Jai on Linux, just like a little bit more love. And then Ilionta doesn't rage quits. And then we have like a dbus implementation on Linux, and I would just be using it today. I feel like there is like a parallel timeline with this somewhere. But unfortunately, we are in a different timeline. Imagine dbus creators watching. Nah, I mean, I'm fucking nobody, right? Who yeah, dbus programmers have like who are even dbus maintainers? Some like Red Hat people, I guess. I think Red Hat people have other issues to deal with. They have too many HR trainings to attend. Too many HR trainings to attend to watch Twitch on stream to watch streams on Twitch. So, know your science fiction author, me or Mr. One on YouTube? Certainly not me, right? Because I am being very realistic today. The way you're speaking, you are going to have some HR trainings in your future too. Luckily, I don't work for kinds of companies that have HR department at all. Usually I work with companies who would have like one HR person, like period, right? You with your alternative realities, yeah. I mean, Casey recently gave an interview and he said that in Moldy Rocket, uh, they have like, I think Linux kind of taken lead in, just like just the user machines that they're using. So maybe soon this also happens uh, for other game related people. I think that RADDBG getting a Linux release might push us into the correct timeline. And for that to happen, I really hope that Roblox is doing very well, so Epic doesn't have to do layoffs, and Ryan isn't like fired from Epic or something. Hey, there's Trevor. Hello. You are surprised? I'm not surprised at all. I'm following Casey on Twitter, and he was saying stuff like that for a long, long time. That he kind of gradually switches to Linux because of different Windows crap. I mean, that's what you do if you want to convince people. One, this is literally, you just go and you repeat the same thing over and over and over and over again for years until people start taking you seriously. Sometimes it takes like a decade, sometimes it takes more. Sometimes it's just not gonna happen. Okay, we have a program, so let's implement the shit. Uh, so yeah, I want to implement this opposite no repress. Opinions is not facts. Yes, true, true. But sometimes you might present your opinions in a way that speaks to other people. Sometimes you can make your opinion stronger by providing proofs, right? Like in the case of Casey, you remember he dropped that ref term, like very fast, like terminal rendering. I feel like that was a good argument. This is probably, I would say that ref term is where Casey kind of went mainstream. Before that, he was like known in the like game dev related niche, right? And ref term is where he like went mainstream. So this is how you win people's opinions. You just like show them shit, do something. Realistically, Mac OS is the best we are going to get if we consider all the economical factors and the rest of the bullshit. I disagree. I think Linux, even with its unpaid labor, has a lot of potential. The issue is more political than it is technical, because people are trying to accumulate power in Linux world, and they are trying to accumulate power by really, really hurting kind of the progress. So, instead of moving the needle, they implement 500,000 package managers to download the same fucking code in slightly different way, right? And then on top of that, they're like implementing these stupid ass IPC protocols over and over again. We had X11, then we did Wayland, which is like slightly different, but it's also and more limited, right? Now there's dbus, which also heavily cites X11 in the spec, and maybe somebody will do another X11. And then on top of that, we have committees, right? So you have a lot of unpaid labor, and even then, this unpaid labor just goes into bureaucracy, because you have like GNOME steering board, like you have Nix OS, like I recently got a little bit into like unemployed Nix OS drama, and did you know that Nix OS has fucking constitution? And they have like board elections every 2 years, and you can't serve like, what the fuck, bro? You're not even getting paid for it. They like literally LARP a government in their little circle. GBus came out of paid developers working. Yes, that actually fits, right? So it was political, but uh, it was the boss trying to accumulate power. Now you're making me like, sound like a conspiracy nut job. especially, especially when we circle back and remember how you mentioned that they wanted to get it into a kernel. So they failed a political goal. And now they get all of the user space to adopt it, right? Because Red Hat also kind of like behind Wayland in a big I guess in a big way. Hey Shrumik, hello. Yeah, just stick to Arch. I mean, I'm on Arch. Systemd people wanted to get it into the kernel. Isn't Systemd like basically Red Hat, like subsidiary or not? I might be wrong. And I also felt like, if it's related to free desktop, then it's basically like Red Hat with slightly different hat. NixOS drama is so crazy. There are literally like Twitter accounts dedicated to covering it, and they post new shit every day. I'm not kidding you. Opposite. KD Bus. So what I'm trying to implement, right, is my program has a mode that's called opposite. Let me tell you. Not tell you, show you. Let me open Hollow Knight. So I don't show you this in like a text editor, which is kind of boring. Let me show it to you in a video game. And I'm not gonna show it in Silksong because spoilers, right? And people probably play it or want to play it. So I have a profile for Hollow Knight, and my program can detect when Hollow Knight is focused because it's an X11 window. Another, by the way, stone in the Wayland's Garden. And the way it works is that A and D keys are set to opposite mode, which means they override each other. So when I'm holding A, I'm going left, and then I'm still holding A, I'm pressing D, and the character starts going right. But then I release D, and A gets pressed again. So I never release A, but I can press D, and you see what I'm getting? I'm getting these like turnarounds. So this is how the opposite mode works. And I can just spam perfect turnarounds. And in Hollow Knight, for example, it helped me with this trick. In Hollow Knight, this is called nail turnaround. This lets you hit with your sword like 20% faster than normal, because normally this is your speed, and you can do this because turnaround cancels the animation. And this is applications in many games, right? So in Counter-Strike you get perfect strafes and blah blah blah. But some games, for example, a lot of fighting games, they ban this mode because, it's kind of cheaty. And so what they allow instead is they allow with no repress. So when you press left and then you press right, turnarounds work without quick slash. Do those turnarounds work without quick slash? Not sure what you mean. Like, quick slash works thanks to turnarounds. But you can turn around without slash, of course. So in case of opposite no repress, if you hold direction and press opposite, you do get override, but then when you release the button, this would not happen. So releasing the button does not give you repress of the old button. I hope the explanation makes sense. And this is what this mode is. So it's slightly nerfed green double side arrow. I got a shitty core to do a laptop that has debus asserts, and I'll figure this stuff out after I finish the game. Thank you, true hero. I don't know, so maybe, how also maybe what will happen is that maybe I will come around, because now I just opened debus, I read about it, and naturally I got just cultural shock. Because I basically implemented xembed of stream in like it was less than 200 lines of code. It was extremely easy to do. You just like couple X11 calls, couple new atoms, and you just respond to the message. And you just literally read the icon image from STB image, you convert it into pixbuff, you send it over, and it just works. It's very easy. But then I realized that Wayland compositors, or I guess Waybar and others, they just don't implement X-embed anymore because, it is considered insecure. So now you have 600 lines of code minimum to implement tray icon, if you're lucky. So dbus is fucking Vulkan of, I don't know. This analogy doesn't make sense, but yeah. Let me run some. Let me play some relaxing music, because I feel I feel like I'm crashing out because of this bullshit. The fuck? Where is AD music? Yeah. Hey, old man, yeah, crashing out background music. Programming as OCD cleaner while your parents crashing out. Hidden chakras music, 432 hertz. Good idea. You know what? Deus Ex gets a remaster, and it looks like dog shit, and seems like it's gonna play like dog shit. So we will gonna listen to Deus Ex OST to honor its dear memory. Press F in the chat for Deus Ex. Yeah. Right, so this is my horrible libinput event handler. And there was some condition where I was checking, yeah, there you go. If active mapping mode opposite or neutral, or I guess opposite no repress here. Active mapping that mode opposite no repress. Table remove active profile destination code. Yeah, I need to add it here as well, right? So I set the mapping correctly when it happens. Then when I'm actually handling it, I need to add it here as well. Let's check. Bind that mode equals opposite no repress. Yeah. So we get the opposing code of the button, we get the device it comes from, we read the state of the key, whether it's pressed or not, and then if it's pressed, we generate this. So if binding is neutral, we write original false. Yes, this is correct. So if it's opposite no repress, so if event value 1, we do nothing different here. But if event value 0, we only do this logic if we are on the opposite or neutral mode. But if it's opposite no repress, so and bind that mode not equals, oops, sorry, JavaScript, opposite no repress. So yeah, I think this is what we do, right? Maybe that's even it. Shoran is watching. Affirmative. I enjoy watching Jonathan Blow runs. There's just something about them, especially if it's something very simple that's making him crash out. I think crash out over the hydrate. Yeah, sometimes he's in such mood, right? I mean, I totally get it. I definitely have it as an ick. Like, as a streamer, I know, like, I know viewers, you know, kind of trying to be nice and trying to be cute, right? And I know that, but it definitely gives me like a bit of an ick, right? Why are you telling me when I should drink my water, like, right? But of course, I'm not gonna like crash out over it or anything. It does give me the ick a little bit, but I'm not like gonna be mad about it. In JavaScript, how many equal signs do you use personally? You're cute, you're very cute here. In JavaScript, I use 3 equal signs. Because using 2 equal signs is very dangerous in JavaScript. John Bingo, somebody. You mean you were sitting in the room or in some like Discord server? That's like an interesting way to spend time. Reminded him of Idiocracy. I can see that. You know what? I can see that. Because, you know, in that movie they didn't drink water, right? They drink that fucking energy drink like Powerade or something. Let's see if it works. Oh my god. So, I'm getting repress. Oh, it works first try. Holy shit. So look at this. I am holding left. I am pressing right while still holding left and I'm going right. But now if I release right, I will stop in place. Huh! There you go. Yeah. So, and now if I want turnarounds, I need to actually press, like, I need to actually press buttons. I still can, like, do those crazy nail turnarounds, but now they're definitely, like, a little bit harder. I actually need to coordinate my fingers. I can still do them because I'm good at the game, but yeah, it's definitely not free anymore. Yeah. Nice. That was a W that I needed desperately. And yeah. The hardest part is picking different arrow icon in the GUI. Yes, true. This one. I actually had to implement different colors for arrows just for this. Good at the game, but I can do it without this program at all. Right? I don't need this program to do it. But, you know, it's allowed because there are hardware devices that give you this capability in the firmware. So we decided in a speedrunning community that instead of banning all of that hardware, we just allow user level scripts that equalize level field. Because, you know, you can't really verify whether somebody used it or not, right? So we just let you do that. And let's be honest, this behavior should just be default in video games. Right? Don't you agree that this kind of... Because you want to turn around. This behavior should literally be default in all video games. The only reason why it's not a default is because that just happens to be default in engines that people do. And why it is default in engines? Well, first, because it's less code. And second, because that's how original controllers were, right? So if I pull off a pirate software struts with opening paint and create you a new custom document, Sorry for flashbang, but it is what it is. The way it works is that fucking the old controllers, they used this fucking stick, right? So the old controllers kind of, right? This was left and right. This was kind of a one physical piece of plastic. So you can't press it at the same time. You can press either this part or this part. They couldn't be pressed at the same time. And I guess this behavior just got kind of the default one. I don't know. There are modern controllers that you can buy on the market that actually have every D-pad button as a separate physical button, and you can have these crazy things for free, right? And some communities just straight up ban those. We decided that, okay, we can't really verify, we just allow everybody to have this functionality on any device they want. It's a trainer, you train to be cheater. Yeah. We, the speed running community governing body and its performance awareness board, decided. Yeah. Reminders for eating and drinking and sleeping would probably help me. I get so focused on whatever task I'm into that I genuinely forget. It's something, some ultra instinct shit, but instead of combat potential, it's mental illness. In my case, I never forget because I have wife and children, and you know, they will always remind me. Also, I have eating disorder, so I just eat a lot if I don't do anything. So if I don't do anything, like my default state of being is being hungry. So I must do something so I don't eat. This is the only coping strategy that I found throughout the years, how to not feel hunger, is to literally do something, like write code or yap on the stream or play games, you know, do something like this. Just eat up all resources. Yes, that's literally me. Literally me. Well, maybe Ozempic would help me, but you know, I don't want to put this shit in my body until it gets through all the tests and you know, people determine if it gives autism or not. I know. In my case, it's too late. But yeah. Or I guess not late. It just doesn't matter. But still. I don't know why and single player games has momentum while walking or running, but I like the counter strafing in CS gives skill expression, for example. In Hollow Knight there is no momentum. In Silksong, well, this like slight spoiler, so you can mute the stream. I will mention one mechanic of the game, 3-2-1. Yeah, in Silksong there is momentum. If you dash, if you turn around out of dash, then there is momentum, because you know she kind of just turns around and she has like more weight to it. Why do you need to cancel A and D if there's no momentum? Because otherwise, in order to turn around, you need to release one button before pressing another one. Otherwise, if you press them at the same time, the character just stays in place. Right? So my program does not affect in-game physics. It just literally physically unpresses keyboard button for you on the keyboard. Are many people using Hitboxer? People do use it, so if I go to GitHub, it has like a bit over 300 stars. And yeah, people like open issues, right? There are even like 2 people who are waiting for Linux builds. So yeah, somebody does use it. And I know people who use it, of course, personally. But yeah. Nice, let's ship it. Let's commit it. implement opposite null repress on Linux. If you have any idea of the popularity that is. Yeah, I don't have real ideas for popularity because I obviously don't track it in any way. I can only like gauge it judging by like GitHub stars and extrapolate. But I don't have any sort of telemetry or tracking, like nothing. And I wouldn't dare to add it because my program is essentially a keylogger, right? It has almost full access to your input devices. I will never put any sort of networking code in it. Also, that's why I'm a little bit reluctant to use dbus, because dbus is essentially networking protocol, and I feel like before I use it, I need to learn about it more, you know, in case of potential food guns. Like, is there, you know, is there a possibility to get some kind of like RCE with dbus, or is it not? I genuinely don't know. All I know about dbus is that it's an IPC. So in my brain, without knowing more about internals, IPC is like instantly sus, right? Because let's say somebody like really cares about security and they put my program on a separate user, they give it permission to run input devices and that's it. But then there's a fucking IPC protocol that lets other programs communicate with mine, and who knows what's gonna happen. That's why before just using something, I probably need to learn about it more. Yeah, and that's why I'm not gonna put any sort of telemetry, any sort of networking like ever into my program. Somebody caring about security. I mean, yes and no, right? As I said, they might run it on a separate user that, well, I guess even if you run it on a separate user, you still give it input permissions and you still give it a keyboard, right? And technically it could listen, right? So maybe you're right. But that's why I have open source, but then I realize that it is only open source if you have access to Jai compiler, because then who the fuck knows which executables I ship, right? Because my executables are not necessarily compiled from the same source code that I post on GitHub. It'd be just easier, the event files. I mean, yeah, but then you need to make my program to read event files, right? So you would need to exploit some vulnerability in my program to read event files and send them somewhere. Yeah, exactly. So it is inherently a trust issue, that's for sure. Like, it always boils down to whether you just, like, trust me, personally. I mean, that was fast. That was a W, so let me tick the checkbox. I instantly feel myself much better now. Oba. Next, we can load libx dynamically instead of compiling, instead of linking against it. So because now, if you go to the terminal and you run ldd, you can see that libx11 is here, getting dynamically linked at compile time. And if you look at ldd3, then you will see that it also kind of, right, it does this on my computer. So if I load libxcb at runtime, I also get rid of these two. And then my program only links against libm and libc. XCB, I think of cookies. Yeah, because XCB forces you to hold cookies to get replies. libm for shame. I mean, it's because of glibc though, right? If it weren't glibc, m would not be a separate library. So don't shame me. I am actually surprised why pthread is not shown as a separate library. Doesn't glibc technically has libpthread separately? Does Jai link to libm implicitly? Oh, now it's a part of glibc. Okay, so it links against libm explicitly. The lib file is so okay. Yeah, there is a separate lib file. It's just a dummy now. I see, that makes sense. Jai links against libc very explicitly. So if you bro, if you compile the program, you can see its link. You can see the link command, and it actually, where is it? Dynamic linker. Where the fuck is libc? Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so it has this libc.so, libm, then a bunch of these, like lpthread. Yeah, so this is the link command it generates. They get access to your GitHub and modify your Jai program. Yes, this is actually true. This is true. I don't have GitHub API keys stored on my computer. I only use it from a web browser. But I guess if you got access to computer, you can run script that opens a headless browser and does shit on GitHub, right? So that's a possibility. That makes sense. So yeah, this is an explicit linker command that Jai runs, and I can modify it. I can go to my meta program and I can modify it. I can, for example, link against muzzle instead and have a static executable, but in my case it's not gonna help because I am loading shit dynamically, right? At runtime I use dlopen and dlsim, and I think those kind of don't work on muzzle, right? If you link it statically. Because muzzle doesn't have like a dynamic loader build or whatnot. So in my case I kind of stuck here, and since Jai doesn't have native implementation of dynamic loader, which by the way, if Ilionte was still here, I also remember that Ilionte was like a little bit like nerd sniped on dynamic loaders, but now I guess it doesn't. It's never gonna happen now. It's disabled on static builds. Yeah. It is incompatible with host glibc libraries. Yes. That actually makes a lot of sense. I actually seen some glibc compat code running around that supposedly helps you load glibc host libraries when you have an executable that's statically compiled with muzzle. Like I've seen some code around on the GitHub, some projects that let you do that. But also I've never tried them, so I don't know if they work or not. XCB module. So at the moment I load sync and XKB at runtime, and I guess I can also just load XCB itself, and I need to use XCB FP instead. Let me copy that from Shine Links XCB FP. So this one instead of XCB. Actually, I probably just need to create a new file and set it here. So what this does, it's exactly the same XCB file, but instead of having all of the procedures as just procedures, it wraps them into a struct, which is called XCB symbols. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Brother, what the fuck? Did I accidentally... What? The fuck? Evil mode, please. Disabled. Evil mode enabled. What happens? Why was I in a fucking Emacs state? Never mind. I got hacked, yes, true. Maria hacked me and then disabled Vim emulation on my computer. But yeah, and they're just wrapped into a struct that I'm gonna use to load those as procedure pointers. That's literally the difference. Don't run Rage, yes. Emacs supremacy, bitch. I don't have exclamation mark GitHub Phoenix, but there's exclamation mark Hitboxer. And also I think I have link to GitHub under my stream description. Load XCB. So let me do this FP. And also I can do if not load procs. Turn false. And which procs are we loading? We're loading XCB itself. XCB symbols. And then we do XCB loaded false, and then I guess I can use in them. Bro, what is with my muscle memory today? I'm cooked. XCB. Guess let's do XCB symbols. Let's be slightly more verbose. Then libraries. And then prefix. I'm not gonna use any prefix for... Yeah, I'm not gonna use any prefix for XCB. I want them to be unnamespace because all of my code kind of just relies on them to be called as they are. And libraries are ls user lib. Oh yeah. Lib XCB. Let me do lib XCB. So lib XCB, XCB. That SO1111. Let's do this. Then inline this motherfucker, and I think that should be probably enough. Let's see if it works. Not enough arguments. What? Loaded. Yeah, I need to pass this as a pointer, I think. Equals without this. Nice, and then we do have redeclaration. Because what? Yeah, because this imports XCB. Because this imports normal XCB. Wait, what? Concerning. So our JDL imports XCB, but it should be importing the same exact module. Oh. Oh, right, because of this. But why did it work before? This would make me dependency free. Yeah, that's a good idea. This is the spirit of Linux. Just give the source code, half-assed make script, and maybe user will compile it themselves. Maybe not. But why? How did it work before? Did I not have? This also had it. This is wild. How did it work then? I'm so confused. Okay, let's call it just like call it create window. Only match enum types, but here it is trying to match U32. Oh. Or not. So key press, I think did I wrap them manually into an enum? Which enum does it need? Here's trying to match U32. The fuck? How did it work at all? Utters reply, get Windows attributes reply. Let's see the difference between them. So in normal XCB, they returned reply T, and in my function pointer version, also return pointer to reply T, which is a struct that has response type, I guess, right? Is this what we... No, all event masks. All event masks. So this is a U32 here. And here... Ah, it was XCB event mask T. Yeah, so I think I manually changed it here. Because technically it is correct. It is enum of these values, and the only reason it's not like that because of original XCB headers. They're slightly undercooked. So let's just bring them to parity. And now we are having, yeah, struct, control was stuck. We are sigfaulting somewhere. Interesting. So we are, I guess, trying to load, and then we sigfaulting on some of the symbols. But on which of them? So this is the situation where I'm gonna run under debugger. Yeah. Oh, sorry for... I mean, maybe it's fine. Like, is it fine if I just keep this at light theme? People, my friends, my comrades. Or is it like dark theme or like bust? Because This is what I use normally. This is what I'm rocking in my day-to-day, you know, like WebMonkey job. I like looking at this. Do you like it? Or is it shit? Like, the only reason I turn dark mode on in Emacs is to please people on the internet. But this is what I usually use. XCB Connect breaks. Why though? Semi-black on semi-white, which has less contrast. I mean, some dark themes are very high contrast. This has a slightly nerfed contrast, I agree. Alright, this also lets you not see chat. I agree. On CRT, on LCD I prefer dark mode. I see. Actually, yeah, until I fixed with chat I can't use light modes. This is actually a good point. Also XCB Connect is fucked because what? Oh, handle is... The fuck? Huh? Right, yeah. Let me turn dark theme on because yeah, you're right. Until I fix chat, like Streamlabs, I can't really use light color scheme, so fucking where is yeah, let's do Doomy Max. It has slightly more contrast. Let's I guess increase font size to for the people. When Jai's out, I can throw my hat into some Linux fixes. Arrays in dbus are meant to have an empty signature. I don't know what it means, but I'm glad you figured it out. You mean type signature, right? I read the spec a little bit. You mean the type signature, the like ASCII letters that come at the start of the message? Is that what you refer for? It pales in comparison that Ilionte quit Jai. So I don't know, will we get Focus fully featured on Linux? I think so. Like full disclosure, Obiwanus offered me to maintain Linux version of Focus because I actually did some work on Linux version 2. Like I did way less than Ilionte obviously, but yeah, I'm pretty familiar. I'm pretty familiar with Focus Linux version, but I just literally can't do that now. I would really, by the way, I would really be happy to help with maintaining Focus on Linux. It's just I can't commit to it because of family reasons, right? Maybe I should still help. And also I want to ship like my program. Maybe when I ship my program on Linux, maybe I could like give it a little bit. Maybe I could like help with stuff, but I'm not really comfortable with saying like, yeah, I'm gonna officially maintain it because something can happen any day and then I'm like gonna dip for fucking 3 months again. Yeah, so it's just, yeah, I'd really happy to, but I just can't commit. Because with this project, if I'm gonna dip, whatever, it's gonna be like that for another 6 months, nobody cares. Or like, not that nobody cares, but it has certain feature completeness that, you know, doesn't put any pressure on me to just grind features out. And with text editor, it's slightly different story. Yeah, open source is this thankless job. You know, maybe if Obi-Wanus could monetize Focus somehow, he would be more motivated, you know, to maintain Linux version himself. If he could like monetize Focus. But I understand that for him Focus it's also kind of like a side gig. So maybe he doesn't want to make it a commercial project. Which I understand. For example, I don't want to make this project commercial, even though I know like I can probably put it up for like $5 to $10 and most likely people will be cool with buying it. Because it's still be way cheaper than competitors, right? If we're talking about Rewazd is like $40 or something. But I just don't want to commercialize it. I just want to be chill with it. So what exactly is null here? Some people just don't want to pay anyways. I mean, yeah, of course, but it's normal, right? And yes, exactly, Phoenix. Commercial means that I need to support, I need to take liability. Yeah, exactly. And, you know, if, like, and I'm not against these things in principle, but I don't want to do it for this particular project. I'm already paying taxes, right? I already run a company, like a consulting business, if you would say. So I already pay taxes related to software development. So I already do that, so not much will change in this regards. Like making it free and then donate, sponsor. I also don't want to, like, you know, I don't want to incentivize people to pay. I don't know, maybe it sounds stupid, but it's kind of for the same reason I don't really ask for subs on Twitch and for donations on Twitch, because I feel like if I ask people to donate, then I need to provide something in return, so I need some kind of an obligation to meet, right? So if a lot of people start subbing on Twitch, now I feel like I'm obligated to stream and provide content, right? Now I feel bad about not streaming or skipping. Same with donations for software, like if people donate, now I feel obligated like to fix bugs and, right? Because now people kind of turn into unofficial customers. And I'm just not very comfortable with this kind of relationships. Maybe I am overthinking it. Maybe it's bullshit and I should just relax about it. But that's B2B. Yeah, this is a good point, you know. So are you saying that if I sell software to customers, now I need to pay like VAT? Like VAT thingy? And then I need like a sales tax or something. Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe there's more to it. Because B2B taxes are very easy. Like, business just pays me, I pay my taxes from income. Like, ditto. That's it. Yeah. You need to be like the Prime. Stream constantly and keep entertaining them. I also don't want to do that. I'm not very energetic in this sense. I don't know how. I mean, it's just a personality, right? It's just a personality. Prime is very energetic. He can be like this for like 5 hours. I like crash out for 20 minutes, then I'm out of energy and I can keep being chill. I just need like fuck, now people are donating to be comfortable.
Training Valiga to be comfortable to accept donations.
Yeah, you like insert just like one finger, you know, to make it easier than to show in the whole fucking leg. Thank you though, appreciate it. Yeah, the epic Slav TTS. Uh, anyway, what is null here? So handle is null, right? And handle, I think it, if I recall correctly, is a pointer. Yeah, it is a pointer to connection. So what exactly gave me the null pointer? Is it the XCB connect return null? Let me do it like this. Oh, what? Why can't I? I guess I can't do anything. Let me do it like shit. Right. I do. Random Linux free just crashed my computer because why not? Unlucky. Is there a way to check a null pointer in Jai or start a pointer with null? I'm not entirely sure what you mean. You can of course just check if the pointer is null. Difference is hilariously fucking stupid for the fix. Just ignore the values. Debus, just fuck off. Okay. Yeah, let's compile it and see what's wrong. Also, XCB connect is null itself. What? Okay, let me put a breakpoint here and see. So we have XCB symbols, which is, let's go here. So we have procs, which is a bunch of stuff here. One of which should actually be XCB connect. Is it not? So let me clear this and XCB. Oh, I can't type. I can't type because my program started fucking libinput trap, and so I'm literally locked off my keyboard right now because my program is running and it's in like in an inconsistent state, and I haven't even. Oh yeah, I haven't even run timers yet. Right? That's why actually I need to run time. I need to init timers on a completely separate thread. Yeah, no. My mouse is fine. I'm not grabbing my mouse anymore, so I can just stop it. So it's not an issue. I'm not like hard locked or anything. The issue is that I am handling the timer on a separate thread, right? But I also need to initialize timers on a separate thread as well. Yeah. I think I can right click, add to watch. Yeah, I can do that. It's just, I was wondering why can't I fucking type, and I now realized why. And I wanted to see if XCB connect is here. And now I have to scroll for it. So if they are, oh no, they are not alphabetically sorted, so okay. Maybe XCB connect just isn't here. Motion. Let's see here. query steer name list set create change copy gc. I will ungrab the keyboards after this compilation, so it's just easier for me to type. Or rather, I will just not grab the keyboard. I don't see XCB connect here. No, it is here. XCB connect. It is on the struct. Oh yeah, this actually we figured out that this makes sense. This clears any previous error the DL error could hold. So this actually makes sense. Yeah, so for lib name, DL open we have lib, yeah, and lib name is libxcb.so. So if not lib failed, we cast to type info struct, we go over members, which is char next, blah blah blah. Mem copy a bunch of stuff. Let's check name buffer. What? Underscore XCB underscore. Well, here's our error. Look at this. So it basically always assumes the prefix. This is a bug. This is a bug. I never run this load, this proc loader without prefix, even though I let you provide it, but it just doesn't work like this. This is the bug. The bug is I try to load incorrect DLC. And so if so this is what we're doing. If procs prefix, then we do all this crap. Else we mem cpy data, and what do we do? Just m name data, m name count. Yeah, and actually don't need this much. We can just do 24. We just literally do this. But you're also only calling it when you know there's an error, so no diff regardless, no? Not really, because I do few of these calls in a row, right? And so there might be like a dangling error from the previous call. On the other hand, right, I guess I technically return if I couldn't load, so this shouldn't affect. So maybe, yeah, maybe that's like a, you know. Also, I think I should return this. So this is actually optional. So I'm just gonna, while I'm here, I'm gonna do this. While I remember. Yeah, we read it yesterday. So yesterday we read that DL error gives you whatever error there was, like since last time you called any DL open related functionality, right? So this could technically like give you an error that you had in some other proc loader that loads. That's why we call here DL error, to clean any potential errors. So I think this one is, this is the one we don't need. This is the extra one we don't need. So we just clean it here, and here we call DL error to get new error. And after we get it, now we can just proceed. So there was one that we didn't need, but everything else was fine. Yeah, laku noć, Zovko. See you around. Bye bye. Laku noć. I still confuse like hard and light, ch and ch and ch, because in Russian we only have one, which is somewhere in the middle. Right, yeah. What do we have here? Wait, why doesn't it compile? Semicolon expected. Where? Yeah, it's just nice. We parse declaration, so we expect it. Brother, what are you talking about? So we don't care if it fails. You're going to need to provide government ID to log into GitHub soon, apparently. Ay. Oh yeah, I read something about it. I think I'm following Brody Robertson, like Linux YouTuber. He's from Australia, right? Because he was talking about it. Wait, what the fuck? Why doesn't it... How is that an error? Oh, I fucked it up somehow. Airbase. Huh. What? What is going on? Let me check Git. Yeah, I definitely fucked this up somehow. What the fuck is state parts map? Yeah, I fucked it up. I probably accidentally somehow joined lines or something. Yeah. So let's just... Yeah, there you go. Okay, we compiled. But will we actually run? And we crashed somewhere. Attempting the reference in a null pointer. Well... Let me please run a GDB. Load XCB. Boop. And now procs are... Yeah, and libs. These are XCB libs. By the way, this is actually using my custom GDB formatter. Oh, your Rectum of Justice, hello. Random Linux freeze could be from your audio crashing. Huh. I don't know, maybe. I think there's a trade-off between being entertaining and actually being productive. This is true, yes, this is true. Trying to be both. Valigo does not require RREs. I do not, yeah. Technically, you need to be like 18 plus to watch my stream, but I don't care. As long as you're not saying me your age, I don't care. There's definitely a trade-off, yes, and the only person on Twitch who I know manages both, in my opinion, perfectly is Tsoding. He somehow mastered, you know, this like perfect line between productive and entertaining. He's literally the only one. So okay, now name buffer is xcb char 2b next, and then null bytes. So now it's correct. Procedure, otherwise if it's a pointer, boom, we do this, PPV, 0. Huh? Oh, never mind. No, this is a pointer into, no, this is correct. It should be 0. And then we DLC it. And now PPV should be, we actually don't know, but we get it here. Yeah, we have it here. Yeah, you see? So let me go all the way here. I think it should be fine now. Bam. Huh, look at this. A lot of them are still null by the time we return. Oh, look at this. Our input handler did not pass health check and likely hard locked. So we recovered. Did we actually? We did! I recovered! Look at this. My recovery code actually fucking worked. Look at that. I couldn't use my keyboard. And look at that. After exiting the debugger, I actually unhard locked. Nice. I don't know why it seems like Russians have some advantage when it comes to programming. A lot of popular software comes from here. I don't know. I think you have some sort of confirmation bias. Probably. I've been verbally abused by Toding too many times, but I can't resist the software rasterizer videos. I hope you don't take it personally. Why a lot of it is null? Look at this. I think I know why. You see this? This should be... This should be like mem set back to 0. It's like sometimes I don't... How did it used to work like at all? Like how does it work? How did it used to work? I don't know. Hey Meister Tynek. Yeah, I'm not doing that anymore. Now let me write. Now I'm loading XCB at runtime. So wait a second. Loading XCB at runtime instead of lib into it, and then general improvements to Linux version of Boxer. I've changed it. Right, now it should have a new one. Yeah. He was frustrated that programming the last time was to do so with skipping blocks of pixels in triangle rasterization. Happy to help and even posted relevant paper. He thank you for after stream. Being yelled at fucking sucks. Yeah, being yelled at fucking sucks, but you know. Yeah. You know how I think about it. You can't predict or be responsible for the reaction that other people have on, like, for not for you, on you, I guess, that how people react on your words. You can't really be responsible for it. You do what you do, you say what you say, and then what happens happens. I have my range by typing fuck your mother randomly. Well, if it helps you, it helps. When you code during the day, the sun rays modify your program's memory. Yeah. Why the fuck a lot of this shit is null though? I don't think there are any errors. And I guess XCB connect also happens to be 0, right? Disconnect, where's connect? Oh, I can just type. Now I can just type. Yeah, it's 0 for some reason. I think I know the bug, by the way. Bug is because I don't mem set this back to 0, so names that are shorter don't work. Hey Patrick. Lately I found out that you should not respond when someone in English asks you how you are doing upon greetings. Yes, this is true. I've learned it very hard. I actually tweeted about something recently, something like that recently. If you don't mind me, I found the bug already. I'll fix it after a little bit of a distraction. If I can open my Twitter. I was like recently ranting about. I was looking like at Casey interview, and there's actually like 2 tweets. So first of them is this one, right? So this is like one of the eternal suffering I have with the English language as a non-native speaker, right? Sometimes I just brain fart think versus think, this verb versus when, then these two, because this literally should be a single, the same letter, though versus through. This is something I've learned the hard way, because feeling well is when you're doing all right, and feeling myself well, this means like you're jerking off or something. This is what it means in English. Like if you're just speaking natively with Russian rules, you would say feeling myself well, but apparently it's very rude in English. So yeah, this is one of those. So if an American asks you how are you, just say fine and go on. Touching base versus touching our bases. Yeah. And also, like, I was watching the interview by Casey, where he said that, like, how, you know, he typed something in the GitHub issues and some person got offended at the most, like, innocent thing. And I kind of got vindicated that, you know, a lot of non-native speakers have issues with, like, American polite talk. Because, you know, all of this politeness kind of fake. And so, like, Americans kind of get offended at the most kind of, at a lot of bullshit, right? And I was very vindicated to know that Americans themselves also suffer from it. Yeah, because in Eastern Europe, well, I mean in Russia and seems like in Serbia as well, you never use how are you as a greeting. You just say hello, like hi. But if you ask how are you, you actually like fucking expect the person to tell you, right? Like about how like his day was. It's just how it is. Yeah, I guess same in Czechia, right? Yeah. Never ask anyone over 80 how are you doing. If you do, be prepared for never-ending list of aches and pains. Yeah. This is why, like, it actually has a side, the other side, a good side. You know how people say that there's like a loneliness epidemic in the world? You can easily fix that. You know, if you don't have friends, it is very easy to become a friend with a senior citizen, because seniors really like talking, especially to young people. So if you are lonely and you don't have friends, just literally make friends with the granny like next door. Just stalk her until she goes back from the grocery store and offer her help with the bugs. You will be friends till like the end of her life. It's just that easy. Like, I don't know why people complain about loneliness epidemic. German versus English language. Is it just like that bullshit with like Krankenscheiße? Or not? Ah, yeah, it's what are you thinking about? Yeah, that's a cool ad. The English courses ad. Yeah, yeah. I know, I've seen it. Yeah. Mayday, mayday, we're sinking! What are you thinking about? Yeah, 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 that's a good one. Anyway, so this shit. The way it goes is you actually must do it here. This is the fix for the error, I believe. And oh. And this kind of gets a little bit confusing, so let me, yeah, put it here. Yeah, this is like horrors of using Tailwind Window Manager. Sometimes you need to manually manage windows. And now look at this. We are back. But unfortunately the timers are fucked. I can't use my keyboard, but let's see if it... Huh. Timers are fucked, but somehow it passes health check. Look at this. And it passes health check. And it just kind of infinitely sends a bunch of events. That's a little bit weird. I wonder what's up with that. So now let's go to this code in particular. I can again just put it here, since this is not a... Yeah, and I wonder what's up with this. Could not... Wait, what? I could not grab a bunch of stuff. Why? Because I'm already grabbing. Because I'm already grabbing those under the debugger. Yes, this is why. I actually need to handle this. Yeah. You know why my health check doesn't release inputs? Because debugger suspends all of the threads, right? Is it so? Yeah, thank you, Patrick. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. Bye-bye. Good luck with Tarkov. GDB suspends all of the threads, right? Or only threads where you put a breakpoint? I actually have no idea. Well, it doesn't really matter. In this case, it doesn't matter. I think... No, it does matter. It does matter in this case, because here I grab the stuff. Yeah, if I couldn't grab anything. So it seems like if I couldn't grab anything, I can't really start a health check. Because I mean, literally nothing is grabbed. So why should I bother? But I did grab something. Yeah, you see, I grabbed 257 and 258. Aren't those my own keyboards? Wait a second. Did I just found a bug? Health check. Where did this go? All threads, I see, I see. Yeah, that would make sense. Huh. We should speak SQL. Squill. No corporate talk while being 100% business oriented and formal. Yeah. I would not want to live like this. So I need to kind of see what happens if somebody accidentally runs my program twice. I should probably detect that we are already running and show an error saying that, hey, like bad things will happen if you do this. Right. But regardless, I'm pretty sure this bug should be fixed now. So if I kill it and run again. Oh, how the fuck did that happen? Yeah, look at this. We are working now. Yeah, we are working, and yeah, you see bindings generator, not generator, bindings assigner works as well. We can add new bindings, for example, from F11. Oh shit! It detects health check symbol. Look at this. It detects health check symbol as something you want to use as a binding. This is fucked. I need to fix it. Like, you can enforce single app instance with dbus. Nah, I mean, I don't even need to check the PID. I can literally check if virtual keyboard is running. And if the virtual keyboard is running, then we're good. So, and now this works. The only thing I want to do is go to XCB and do like no size complaint. I think this is what you... What? How do you do it then? No... let's check the input. It's type input, no size complaint. XCB FP. This is the one. And now we're just... Cool. How slow it is to run now? Let's see, because obviously loading stuff at runtime puts a burden to startup times. Bottleneck is still grabbing the devices. So yeah, this is actually fine. But now if we do LDD, look at this. We don't link against anything. Everything we do gets loaded at runtime. This is pretty poggers. You know what I also want to do? I want to, so since we're here and I found a couple like bugs that I haven't like predicted before, I want to see if, first let's remove this. I want to check. What's that? Never mind. So I want to break free. Yes, here I want to emulate situation where I just don't load this and see how my program reacts. Will it crash? Will it work? it should still work, but it crashes, you see? So xsync should be optional, but it is not. It actually seg faults. This should be optional if this is not found. So let me fix that before I commit. Let's see where exactly we fail. Initialize if needed. The fuck? Thread init. Allocator proc. Huh? Why am I breaking here? Why am I breaking at this? Yeah, this is like GDB, not GDB, this is like an issue with... this is an issue with VS Code GDB integration. Yeah, there we go. XCB get extension data, XCB sync.id. Yeah. XCB window.jai. It just gets confused with breakpoints sometimes. Oh, yeah, of course, and I need to do this. Right. It's having to do the same thing when you're linked normally. It's just manually instead of by LD links. Yeah, of course, naturally. But what are we doing is we do XCB window and sync. Yeah, so this shit, XCB sync, there it is. It is kind of a null. So ID here is null because we never loaded it. We should only try this out. So if XCB sync.id. So we need to only do it like this. Nice. And now we're not faulting anymore, but there should be something about sync here. Nothing. Yeah. But we still work. We still work properly. But also, I wonder if there's a way to somehow emulate sync not being present. But yeah, regardless. Wait, what? Where's module? Not this XCB module. There you go. We just do this. Cool. And if we compile it again, we should be absolutely fine. Yeah, right. And now XCB sync. Yeah, here's XCB sync. Hoggers. So we need to fix this affecting our key bindings. This should literally be just always ignored. Wait, what are you talking about? 18 GB available? You mean somebody somewhere here? I'm a bit confused. What are you referring to? In your Emacs file viewer set. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I'm a bit short on time. Not on time, on space. I don't remember. I think it's a terabyte of NVMe, and I kind of split it between Windows and Linux installation. And yeah, my Linux installation is kind of short on space because I just have a lot of Docker containers work related here. Not containers, but like volumes with like fake databases, you know, like stuffed with like generated like fake data and stuff like that. And also just a lot of dangling Docker images. Yeah, I just need to run like Docker system prune from time to time. It's gonna be all right. But yeah, regardless, this now works. This now works. Yep, and also FP modules FP, right? So let's commit it. Load libxcb at runtime. Fix xcb sync being hard required. Fix xcb connect name conflict. Yeah, there you go. And so now we go to GitHub. This is done. Docker mascot being a whale makes sense. Exactly. I know, right? Yes. Now I need to add more stuff here. So handle being all fucked up when a user accidentally runs 2 instances of Hitboxer. On Windows, we detect when one running and close ourselves. Need to do the same here. Next, fix health check key code being respected when you assign bindings. Initialize timers on the same thread they're being handled on instead of in the main thread. This will help with the situation when we're grabbing keyboards but then something else breaks before health check starts, or just start health check before everything else. I don't know, just kind of brain dumping. Yeah, let's actually work on it because I feel like this should be relatively easy to do. Linux timer FD. So you see now, actually I run timers relatively soon, right after creating virtual devices. So maybe that thing where I grabbed my keyboard was literally only related to the debugger. Check trage diff. Yeah, by one. Thanks for hanging out. Let's check trage diff. Okay, why not? Trage. why not Trage history? One hour ago. Add empty properties. Contain path. So this just adds a bunch of properties, right? Okay, this just adds a bunch of properties. Doesn't look like too dangerous. Let's check this. Fix built on Alpine and Debus asserts. Stupid library. Requiring pkg config. Huh? AI. So now we press 0 here and 0 here. So that's it. So as you said, like if you want to pass a race, you just don't pass a type definition, like type signature. That's it. Yeah, let's projects third party Trage. Yeah, okay, let's pull. And let's do build at Sage. And then build Trage. Woo! Get all. Look at this, I have icon. And if I right click, it doesn't really do anything. But then when I do left click, it prints something. Yeah, they could have. Oh yeah, it is handmade hero gradient. Yeah, and calls activate. That's crazy. Nice. Thank you. Well, I hope you haven't just stolen all my bank accounts with this. And I guess I will inspect that as a reference implementation and see. And I guess what do? I will cross-check it against some maybe tutorial or whatnot. Cool. And yeah. You deleted my Vim bindings. Ha! They restored themselves again. Anyway, thank you. I will look at it closer. I'm just like, it's not anything wrong with your code. Don't get me wrong. It's just I just look at the fact that you need so many lines of code to implement something that should be so simple. And yeah, I understand that some of it is right, just animated icon. I understand, but it's just like, dude, you literally have 200 lines at most versus this. And I don't think that your code is any bloated, because I found few other minimalistic debug examples, right? I have like debug sample opened somewhere in GitHub, like debug tray something, and it's also 600 lines of code. It's like about the same size that your program is. I mean, maybe you can metaprogram it, but I feel like in sample implementation, right, in like an example program, where you want to be explicit. It's one of the icks I have with a lot of like direct write or like OpenGL or like Vulkan tutorials. is that they start to lean heavily on abstractions, and then instead of learning the API, you do some, you just do something else, right? You do a bunch of other stuff that's not related. So I actually appreciate that you didn't like try to hide anything here. I mean, yeah, you use this fucking defer loop macro. Like you use this. But, you know, I forgive you. My child, you are forgiven for this sin. And also for using inline assembly to memset stuff to 0. But yeah, I guess that's unrelated to the issue. Yeah. Yeah. I read the macro. I understand what it does. I understand what it does. I'm just memeing around. Fix health check key code being respected. Yeah. So let's quickly do that. So seems like I already kind of initialized timers here and they work. So I think it should probably be initialized in a separate thread, right? So timer stuff, I should probably just literally copy all this, go to handle timers and start it here. Well, if result -1, log error, could not start and grab timer, you might be in danger. And then I want to remove that. And then I guess return. And return -1. Yeah. Should I timer FD destroy it? Is there... Or do I just use close on it? Like just close. Right. And nice. Grab timer FD. Let's actually do -1. Initialize it to -1. Which is, I guess, kind of a convention when something is... When the file descriptor is not a file descriptor, you might be in danger. In danger of what? Let me use my epic S macro. So could not initialize the timer. You might be in danger hard blocking yourself out of using your devices if hitboxer gets stuck during input handling. I guess that's it. Now I remove this. And I literally just start the threads. And I think I probably want to start them right. Health check timers. Like this. Will it work? Yeah, so let's see if we still do health check here. Yeah, look at this. We do health checks. I wish zero file descriptor was invalid instead of the std in. Yeah, it makes sense, right? Having std in as a default one, it's kind of convenient. But I agree, I totally agree with you, right? Because not having zero as an invalid file descriptor means you can just do if not fd, right? You can do this. And I always want to do this, but then I have to catch myself and no, this is what you, which is just, it's just kind of a food gun. It's very easy to make mistake here. So yeah, we start timers at the very beginning. So this to do, where is it? There you go, fixed. Yeah. Oh yeah, so you can do something like, right, if fd and, right, I don't know. You know what I mean. So some like bullshit like this. Yeah, same idea. Yeah. So health check timers, then I guess I don't need to namespace it to block it. Leave you there and leave input loading. To do provide an option to load at runtime, like for libu dev, libu input. This to do should probably be in a module. Yeah, I agree. I agree with myself. Also deduplicate bindings so that struct definitions are in one file that's loaded by separate proc files. It doesn't make sense probably to a third-party watcher, but I understand what I mean here. So don't worry about it. Now, we need to exclude a special health check symbol from our input handler. So what's the issue, right? When I run the program, if I try to change bindings, eventually, so I'm listening for the input, you see it inserts no symbol. So it still listens to health check symbol and thinks that's what I pressed on some kind of keyboard, which kind of sucks. So I need to completely ignore it here in my input handling. So it's some like defer if. Yeah, so here we're gonna pass the check, but we also should what is this? Oh, right, virtual devices. Oh, you know what? I need to start timer after this. My keyboard got stuck. Huh, that's weird. So I'm holding K. Oh, and it stopped. I know what happened. I know what happened. So I think this shit. Oh. Yeah, health check screw. But why? It wasn't an issue. So I did something today. Ah, no. You know why I wasn't noticing it? Because I was only using it in game, well, in a single game I'm playing these days. And probably that game just straight up not even seeing the message. Not even seeing this. But I guess Emacs maybe somehow is trying to interpret it. So yeah, I just have to kind of cope it. Also, we can have a slight situation here if we load timer before this initializes, and if it takes too long of a time, then the timer will get confused. So let's move virtual devices. At the very top here. Right, yeah, and if not success, turn actually here maybe in this particular case I might be nah, let's just do the same thing, because here I could maybe soft fail if I don't create health check, but no, not create a virtual keyboard for health checking. It is very dangerous. It might be dangerous to run without it, so we abort. And then we start thread to actually test it. So I guess let's do it this way instead, and then in lib input handling. So what I want is we kind of check this, and here if when we write original so I guess I can just set write original to false, right? Because write original gets set to true only when we do maps, or not? Ah, no, it's true by default, so yeah, this is what we do, I guess. Right, I think that should be it. And then we just... No, it still stops. The fuck? Huh? Concerning. So I'm pressing. And then the health check interrupts it. But at least now it shouldn't. So let's see if it... No, what the fuck? What the fuck? I know why. Yeah, because I know why, because write original is about different thing. Because we still handle it We still handle it here. Like, yeah, we set right original to false. So actually this shouldn't... So this I know how to fix setting key bindings, but for some reason we get here, it seems like. Otherwise, how would... You know what? Maybe it fucks up with our repeat rate. You know, maybe another input goes through lib input, and maybe lib input internally like drops like repeat key. I don't know how to explain it. Let's be honest, I don't know how to explain it. The code I use for DPA scale. Yeah. I know about this. I know about XRM resources. You can also use like XRanders API to give you the DPI. Yeah. I'm not implementing DPI here. It's just because, to be honest, there's not much reason to implement DPI scaling on X11 anyway. Well, maybe there is, right? You probably just implement... what I was talking about is that there is no real mixed DPI support. Because everybody all modern distros run Xinerama, right? And it treats all the monitors as shared space. So you don't get mixed DPI support in X11. Maybe apart from KD, because I think it does something. But yeah, detecting initial DPI makes sense. Oh, excuse me. I will get to it eventually. But also, I mean, it kind of works, right? Maybe X-Wayland does something with it internally, not sure. Doesn't matter. What matters is how do I stop this from happening. And so now I'm running it. I know I can just return, I can just remove this if and return here. I know I can do this. But why I put it in a defer block? Because I want to run through an entire input handling to see that it doesn't get stuck anywhere. Right? Because what if health check returns here, but then there's a bug further down that blocks? And this is what I want to avoid. So that's why this code should be at the very end, that it successfully escaped from the input handler. But the issue with that, yeah, I want actually to execute entire logic here in case I block somewhere here, in case something here gets stuck, you know what I mean? I could return, I could certainly return, but I don't want to, because I want the entire routine to execute before I conclude that yes, the health check was successful. So I don't want to just, okay, we enter the handler, means we're fine. It just means that I want to handle this separately. So if current state, setting source, state, destination. So I guess I'm nerfing myself a little bit here. Right, so I'm gonna run all of this, destination formatted, old source, if old source, blah blah blah, next state. So this is already where my changes become destructive. I don't want to write it out, and I'm not writing it out. This is something different. There are two separate issues, actually. And I'm not writing it because I'm setting the right origin. Oh. So this happens too late. Yeah, this happens too late. So this happens too late, but this is only a part of the problem. So yeah, this probably... I just don't want to repeat conditions, but I guess I should. I guess there's no other way for me. Yeah, so if key equals... I guess I just do this. And then we have another if and defer. So this should fix Emacs repeat issue. Does it? Yeah, you see it does. Yeah, I got new symbol pressed and it doesn't interrupt anything. So yeah, this fixes that problem. Yeah, so we do. We get no symbol pressed, but we don't interrupt it. But this issue would still persist. So look at this. You see it still shows no symbol, because that's a little bit different. And let's go back to my bookmark. Right, so I kind of... this needs to get handled here. I guess I'll just skip all of this logic. Right. So this doesn't really do any sort of system calls. Well, apart from printing, of course, but these prints, I will remove them. This will be debug logs that will get also handled in a separate thread. So for now, I guess I'll just have to do and... how do I... key not equals. So I guess I'll just have to do this. So I guess that's it. But so I wanted to run as much logic here as I can. Yeah, this is where the logic becomes destructive. Active state. Actually, no, finalize settings. This writes to file. This is writing to file. You know what? It's actually, I think it's... Yeah, normally it's writing to... Yeah, it's all good. It's actually all good. I am not running this logic during the health check. Right? Yeah, I do not. But I will run this logic on the next tick of the normal event handling. And if we hang there, then I will... Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. I can do it. This is safe. This is safe. I hope you understand why it's safe. Because even if we get stuck here, we will not detect that we are stuck within 5 seconds, but we will detect it on the next 5 seconds when the next health check event comes in. So yeah, this is just a minor inconvenience. Well, all this shit is a minor inconvenience, but you know what I mean. Yeah, and now if I press here, it shouldn't be disrupted by health check. Fuck. I lost. Why? Wait, why? We should we should be getting here. Spoke too soon, yeah. So this entire block should not get set, because key should not be equal this. If this equals, or oh, maybe because this, I think this has higher precedence. Yeah, I think you are totally right. I think you're totally right. Yeah, now it's ignored properly. Jai is kind of nonchalant on linter rules, but Jai makes it very easy to write linters, actually. Very easy to write linters. So you can quite easily implement this as a linting rule and warn or even fail compile. And in order to prove that actually Jai lets you do that, Jai has built-in how-to that implements a subset of Misra. Let me show it to you. So there is a how-to on custom checks. And this is a target program that violates a bunch of Misra stuff. Right, so Misra violation, these CRP routines are mutually recursive and thus disallowed, because Misra bans recursion. Then factorial can be implemented recursively, right? Then direct floating point comparison, right? Too many levels of indirection because you have double pointers. And how it's implemented is, here's the metac program, blah blah blah, a lot of explanation. And the point is, when you compile, you can listen for type checked message here, and as you get code nodes, as they get type checked, you can inspect them. And this is like a program that, right, it goes through sub-expressions on every type checked like expression. And then it checks if it's a binary operator, right? If it is equal or like is not equal. Then if like left is float, report Mr. error, right? Floating point expression shall not be tested. And this is how you implement linters in Jai. You literally like inspect code nodes, and you can catch, for example, binary operator, right? Which is double AND or double OR. So you would check if it is whatever, like, I don't remember, but basically if like this, right? And then you would check if left part is OR or right part is AND, and you can see if it's like parenthesized or not. Which is pretty cool. I think you can check if expression is parenthesized. I'm pretty sure you can. Let me, since you nerd sniped me a little bit. Yeah, you see? It's parenthesized. There is a flag. There is a flag on the code node directly. So code node is kind of a base struct. Yeah. So on each code node, you may know if it's parenthesized. And so you can detect chained binary operators, and you can see which of them are parenthesized. And then you can complain if, for example, you mix OR and ANDs, you can complain if the expression is not parenthesized. So it's totally possible to implement as a linter rule. Nice. Also, this kind of gets a little bit too long. It's 145. And it's not that bad because it's actually a quite big font style, right? Because usually at work, I use... like this is what I use usually. Or even this. No, I usually use that. So in Emacs it would be... yeah. So not more than this. And in this case, it's actually also a little bit longer, but yeah. And I kind of, you know, make it like bigger for stream. But let's reformat it slightly. So if this and this and this and indentation gets a little bit confused because GI mode for Emacs it's actually like a modified JavaScript mode, and JavaScript has a weird like notion of secondary indentation. And I guess I can also reformat this, right? So you see kind of, right? It uses the secondary indentation because it's not like parenthesized. So yeah. So let's parenthesize this, and then we can change white space like this and white space to white space like this and and then do /g, right? So we can do that, and then we can... oh, why did I press comma? Comma is not needed here, and now I can... yeah, when it's parenthesized, it's better. So you should first wrap it in parentheses and then do this. But yeah, this is because this mode has remnants of JavaScript mode. It's kind of scuffed. There is an alternative GI mode for Emacs that actually relies on tree-sitter grammar, but tree-sitter grammar is slightly undercooked. So I'm not using it for now. I think I can enable it. No, I even uncommented it in my Emacs settings, so yeah. I'm missing on the first one. Here? No, we have it. Here? We have it. Here? Oh yeah, you're right. You're totally right. So it's like kinda... so I need to do this. Right, so it's like that. That kind of makes it ugly. So I probably should wrap it one more time. Ugh. So it's gonna be something like this. Right? It's gonna be like some bullshit like that. That looks super stupid. I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna do something like that. Yeah, this is better. Might as well be right in Lisp. Yeah, you know, kind of like this. Yeah. This is the real code I'm proud of. Look at this. I actually implemented mixed high DPI support for Emacs in Lisp. Yeah, this is handwritten code by me to support high DPI and mixed DPI on Emacs. For yeah, it actually works. It's mainly for Windows because Emacs on Windows doesn't actually support mixed DPI. So you have to scale it manually like that by detecting when it goes to a new monitor, right? So you can actually get current DPI by getting geometry. So there is an Lisp API, and then you call scale interface when on move frame. So frame is a window in Emacs terms, and move frame functions is a list of functions that should get executed uh, every time you move, well, a physical window around, right? And so I just get all DPI before the frame got moved. I calculate new current DPI, which is just yeah, I just calculating it based on the monitor geometry, right? And pixel density, because it has like a geometry and it also lets you do like a resolution, right? So I decide that 1.0 is like 96, and I mean it's just an arithmetic, nothing crazy. And then yeah, I compare if old frame DPI, right, when you know it like divides something something, I scale the interface. Yeah, it's like it's pretty simple code, but the fact that you can implement it in eLisp, it's pretty stupid. It just tells you how stupidly powerful Emacs is. I actually bet you Vim does not let you do that. Something tells me you can't do it in Lua, in Vim. Something tells me you cannot. Right, but does it work? Yeah, it works. And if I press A, let's wait for health check. Let's wait another one. Nice. And if I press manually F7, now it works. Yeah, great. And health check does not interrupt me holding repeat button. So I hold, 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 hold. 5 seconds definitely passed, and we are still not interrupting. This is all actually good. And now let's check if it actually works, if I fucked up any like actually overwriting logic. So let's launch Hollow Knight and see if it still works. Yes, you know there's a very famous article that's called Curse of Lisp. I mean, if you're like anywhere around computers, sure you've read this article at some point, because it makes rounds around Hacker News every couple of years. This one. So I'm pressing left, holding, yeah. You see, I'm getting these crazy turnarounds. This works. Then if I press P, I get double, so I can get like crazy double jumps. If I press U, you see U is mapped to escape, I get escape now. And now if I cancel each other out, it actually works. Yeah, it works. Nice. Then if I, let's say, so I have inventory on white space, and let's see if I add mapping from backspace to white space. Now if I press backspace, yeah, I get my inventory. Yeah, nice, nice, nice. It all works. What else should I check here? I mean, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much the functionality. If I remove, so yeah, now I don't get turnarounds. Now I have to press keyboards like a little bitch. AD, opposite. Yeah, now it works again. Oh. Yeah, all works, all works. It's nice, nice. We are working. So let me health check code do this. So handle being all fucked up when the user accidentally. Yeah, I can do this next time. Yeah, this is pretty important to do just as a health like safety check, but I can do it next time. Tray icon, I get super fucking demoralized by it. Literally wasted first hour of the stream just complaining about shit. I learned about that here in this very stream. Nice. Educational, everyone. XKB layout change. Oh yes, you're right. You're right. XKB layout change support. Optional, but nice for good UI. Optional for the core functionality, but nice for good UI. You're actually correct. You are actually correct. This is like fucking LLM response. This is who I become. Certified debug stream, yeah. I might pull this out and this out into separate issues. So if I can implement this like in an hour or two, fine. But otherwise, I'll probably ship without it. Because actually on Windows, it's also sort of scuffed. So that would mean like jank feature parity, right? But yeah, I think, well, let me commit first, of course, naturally, let me commit. Mm. Initialize timers earlier fully in a separate thread. Fix help, check related bugs. Robot man. True. Maybe let's rate someone. Who is streaming? Somebody who I know, who we can rate, or maybe somebody I don't know. Maybe somebody cool is streaming some. Is streaming the stream, grinding the grind. So I recently rated a dude called Hypnotic Games. He has insane mustaches. Maybe I can rate him again. But maybe there's somebody else I can rate instead, because I kind of like to mix and match that. Zuckenheimer, I also sort of rated him recently. Who else is here? There is some hardcore functional programming stream, but I think he speaks in Portuguese, if I recall correctly. So maybe not the best target for my particular stream. Who is Stade McMuffin? This looks like Blender. Linux Day 16. Okay. He does Linux, I do Linux. Seems like we can go along pretty well. So let's rate. I don't know who this is. So chat, be nice. Show some love. And I will see you hopefully tomorrow, if we are not too cooked after a day of Saturday. You can always join Discord for stream notifications. So yeah, thanks everyone for watching on Twitch, on YouTube, and bye bye. Have a nice rest of your days.